Hello everybody, welcome back to the gear room. Today I would like to show Minibulldesign's Elite Cook Kit. So we're going to tear this thing apart and get a boil time and show you how the stove and everything works together with Minibulldesign's Elite Cook Kit. Okay, so according to Minibulldesigns website, this kit is supposed to come in weighing at around 4.39 ounces. My measurements are a little bit different. It's actually a little bit lighter than what it shows on Minibulldesigne, but we'll go ahead and go through it piece by piece so you guys can check that out. Alright, so with the kit you get a nice lightweight lid, and we'll get a measurement on that here soon. Of course, you get the Minibulldesign's Elite. It's a very neat little stove. And we'll do a burn time so you guys can check out the flame pattern on this stove. And you also get a carbon felt windscreen. The 10 centimeter IMUSA cook pot comes with a wrap. You have to install that yourself. Okay, so here is the 10 centimeter IMUSA cook pot. Weighs in at 2.82 ounces. That's with the carbon felt wrap. Windscreen comes in at 0.60 ounces. The Elite stove is 0.46 ounces. And the lid, 0.35 ounces. So altogether, comes weighing in at 4.27 ounces, and if you wanted to include a 1 ounce bottle, it does fit down in there nicely. And you can put the lid on. And comes in at 4.66 ounces. So a pretty lightweight kit. Alright, so the Elite stove. This is a really neat little stove. It is fuel hungry though. And in my opinion, I think it's a little bit too big for the 10 centimeter because, as you'll see here in a little bit, the flames actually wrap up and around the pot and isn't focused right at the bottom of the pot. But this is a really neat little stove, nice and lightweight. All right, so now the price point on this is at $30, and this is everything you get. Kind of a pet peeve, I guess, is if when you're buying a cook kit, it should come assembled, and you actually have to wrap this thing yourself. I think for $30, Tinny could actually wrap that thing, and it could come, usable right out of the box. But I mean, it's no big deal to put it on there. I just use a little bit of epoxy, and it's good to go. But for $30, I think you could probably put that on there for you. But other than that, it's a pretty neat little cook kit. Now I'm going to put about 3/4 of an ounce of fuel and fill this thing with 2 cups of water, and I will let you guys see the flame pattern on it. Okay, well, I ended up putting a whole ounce in here so you guys could actually see how much an ounce of fuel, or how long an ounce of fuel will burn for. And that an ounce of fuel is really the most that you can put in here before it goes into these little holes in the sides that Tinny's got in there. So we'll get this fired up, and I do have 2 cups of water in there. Alright, there she goes. It's coming to a bloom now. Alright, we'll just go go ahead and plop that down right there. Hit the start button. And like I said, we're inside the house, so we don't need the windscreen, but it does come with the kit if you needed it. Alright, I'll get back to you guys in just a second. I would like to show you guys how that, you see what I'm saying there? The pot looks pretty well centered, but the flames come up and wrap around the sides. Now, if you're a person that thinks that that's not as efficient as to one that doesn't wrap around the sides, it might cost you a little bit more fuel, or probably just a little bit more of a boil time. But I mean, honestly, it's probably not worth worrying about. Now, that popping and stuff, that's the stove making that noise. It's kind of weird. I've never heard a stove make popping noises like that. Alright, now it's pretty close. It's actually the fastest boil time I've ever got off the stove. Usually it's around 6 minutes or so. But yeah, she's boiling. That was around the 4-minute mark. I'll hit the lap button. We'll see how long she burns on an ounce of fuel. That was just regular tap water. It wasn't straight out of the faucet. I've had it sitting in an Nalgene for a couple of minutes. But yeah, I think that's the quickest boil I've ever gotten off the stove. Alright, so just a little over 7 minutes. 7:15 is about when it went out. Okay, so with an ounce of fuel, you get about 3 minutes of rolling boil, which is more than enough time to make a pot of top ramen or something like that. But if you're just rehydrating food, the Minibulldesign Elite stove does a great job. But don't expect overly long boil times out of the stove. It is kind of fuel hungry, but that being said, it is a great stove and I really like it. Now, alright, well there you have it. Minibulldesign's Elite Cook Kit. It's a very lightweight cook kit, and would be great for day hikes or longer. I could see myself using this all the time. All you really need to make is a little pot cozy, and you probably don't even really need to do that, but if you wanted to eat out of your pot or something like that, it's a great little setup. Alright, until the next one, guys, thanks for joining me, and we will see you on down the trail. Take care out there.